Hello, and thank you for joining me on Sew Stitch Hex. I'm Miss Izzy, and today I'm going to be talking about Grimoires, or your Book of Shadows. What is it? Why is it? Where is it? How is it? For me, it can be any number of things, and it varies from person to person, and the emphasis here is that it's all up to you, how you design it. Some people a lot of people actually, have binders filled with loose leaf paper and little pockets with things stuffed in, and they just compile it that way. They always want to get that fancy one, but it doesn't always happen. Because realistically, you're just going to keep learning and your knowledge is going to pile up. I know I have like a bajillion screenshots and website articles and random herbs that have been talked about in scientific articles and random pages and all sorts of different things. So many. It's ridiculous, but I want to copy them down, and I do, but not as fast as I compile them. But your grimoire can be any number of things. If I wanted to, I could just use the screenshots. I could have a digital grimoire. Very modern witch idea that I love. I just really like paper. I like books. I like the smell of them and the size. Like this one. It's a big book. Big blue book. And it's got really pretty flowers inside the paper. This is by Charming Bear Journals. You can see them on Facebook. They have lovely things. It's got this nice velvety thing. And I keep drawings in mine. I drew this. It's not fantastic, but I usually write in pink. Almost everything I do is in pink. And I write a lot. Sometimes it's things like this, that it's in multiple colors of pastel. I do a lot of things. I write all the things. And I compile them very strangely. You can have something as fancy as this. You can have something as simple as a notebook. This random, ruled, buy it group, I guess. With the little tabby thing. And it's just a little notebook we got at like the Staples. It's nothing fancy. You can use that. You can use the ruled binder, like I have the little ruled notebook that I use for the scrapbook or the scrap paper grimoire, the like random ideas. You can use that. Or you can do what I did. I got a hardback from like Michael's and I decorated it. I made it super sparkly and extra with little flowers of lace and all the sparkles. And I compiled it like I would. And it can be filled with anything. Mine is filled with all the things that are important to me. So there's one or two journal entries because your grimoire can be a journal. Your grimoire can be just a compilation of notes. It can be stickers. I love stickers. I have so many stickers. I get stickers on Etsy all the time. It is probably why I am so poor. But stickers, you can make charts. You can make a list of things you want to study to help you like keep ideas. You can write spells. I also keep a list of all the witches I meet and all the paths they follow because I love learning about the different paths. I love learning what other people want to learn. I like knowing that other people have interests that are different than mine because if not, we'd all be the same cookie cutter and it'd be so boring. I love learning about these things, so I write them down. I put them in my book. I make drawings for capes that I'm going to make for my craft. I drew my wand in here that I made because I make all kinds of things. I made lists about the covens that I meet and the structures because the structures can change. I make drawings about energy work. I have little tape ends of napkins where I made sigils while waiting at tables. I have receipts that I drew on the back of. I have business cards and little printouts that I got from magical stores or botanicas that I visited. And drawings and sketches galore. Some things I've went back and highlighted. I've written down my divination in here and divinations that I've gotten from others. I have these super fancy stickers that I adore. I made notes of important events. I made notes of when I graduated. I made notes of when I started. I made notes when I began or ended a relationship. I made all sorts of notes. When I was invited to my coven. I have other kinds. I have so many books because all of them can be different. They can have different contents. Most of mine are just a hodgepodge. And I sewed this on from a bookmark that I got at the Ren Fair, which this is also a book from the Ren Fair, made for ethically sourced goat leather, and it's purple, which is lovely. Has Rick and Morty stickers in it and flowers, and a bunch of funny ones I got at Heroes Con in Charlotte. But then you have some that are as tiny as this. They're so itty bitty. But it can be a compilation of anything. It can be audio based. It can just be recordings on your phone or on a tape recorder or in your computer. You can just record. You can make it just drawings. It can be just sigils and you just write a little note of what they are, or you don't. Leave the mystery. I don't like the mystery. I like to write everything. If there was one random thing that changed, I write it down because I like to know. I like to keep very deep, intense records of everything. But it doesn't have to be. Yeah, I have one book that's just an idea I had about the different associations that recreational drugs like alcohol and cigarettes could have in relation to a craft. It's a fun idea, and I call it the Substance, Terra, and Grimoire Inspiration Book. It's like a really big thing. I've just been working on it a little at a time, trying to see what this means, like different associations with the different types of alcohol and the gods, and this is all this book is for. It's just these things. So I just write in, I look up, I research different types of alcohol and the different gods and goddesses and the Loa and everyone who's interested in alcohol, which a lot of spirits like the spirits. So I write this down because it's something I'm learning. Sometimes I do research on, hey, if I took a trip right now out of country to this place that I'm studying about, what would it be? How is the life like right now? And I write that down because that's important to the climate of what I'm studying. It's crazy things, but usually I try to keep things in one page relevant to that page, just a collection of sigils. One page on just like the alcohol. Just that one alcohol on the pages that I'm talking about. Or I have a book of just plants. And it's just like one page, 2 pages for each plant. And that plant is the star of the page. And I only write about them for that page. If they need more pages, they get those pages. But those are only for them. Usually they get more pages because I'm trying to draw them. And it takes me a minute, some of them. Because some of them are really detailed. Because I'm a stickler for details. Like, I want to get every little aspect that shows the difference between hemlock and Queen Anne's lace. Those are tiny little details that I can exaggerate like a cartoon to show off what it is, but I want it to be more subtle, more realistic, so it's hard. But those are just a few examples of grimoires. You can have the digital one, like I do sometimes for spells. I just have a collection online of just audio of me recording spells. Because I was driving or I didn't have access to a notebook, so I just wrote it down. You can use a grimoire that is nothing more than just loose cards. Your grimoire can be anything. It can be music that is interpreting what you feel towards a certain type of entity, energy, or spell work. Like, it can just be music. Literally just music. Just composed sound. No words, just just that. Doesn't have to be fancy. It can be, like this big heifer, but it didn't have to be. So this has been about your Book of Shadows or grimoire, your journal, your notes, your scattered drawings. I hope this has inspired you in different ways that you can convey the information you've learned, because that's all a grimoire is. It's just conveying all that you've learned and all that you do. Even if all you learn in one day is that this movie was great, put the tickets in there. I have tickets from the Ren Fair in there because I love the Renaissance Festival. So I put them in there because they're meaningful to me. And that sentimentality is super cool, super awesome. I see it, I remember it, I'm happy about it. So I keep it. Put pictures in there, like physical snapshots, Polaroids if you have one. Just print them out like CVS, little things. Or dried plants. I have dried plants in mine too. It's all up to you, and it's all varied. You can have any sort of grimoire that you want. Well, thank you for learning with me today. And thank you for viewing my video. If you want, like, subscribe, share with a friend. Thank you for joining me on Sew Stitch Hex. I hope to cast a spell with you in the next video.